sort of glossed over this whole pale moss transformation thing in my last video, but this is what I was going for. But transforming this sea of gray into something that actually looks decent is going to take a lot of work. I started with the easy part, clearing the area of clutter, and then gathering tons of coral and tuff, which by the way took a lot longer than that 2-second clip would suggest. But my first job was to take that huge expanse of pale moss and turn it into something that doesn't hurt your eyes to look at. I was actually really inspired by the floor that Trozo put down here on the main level of the Goat Gang headquarters. I just love how the pale moss goes together with tuff and coral. And while the plans that I have for this island are a little bit unusual, I think this pattern suits them perfectly. And now for the detailing, I'm gonna start by getting just a little bit of blackstone and a little bit of basalt. And now the last thing I need is a little bit of pale wood and... somebody messed up my storage system. Yeah, I have a very concrete method about how I organize all of this, and whoever did that does not seem to have a firm grasp on it. I mean, seriously, guys, who does this? Just walks into another person's storage system and starts organizing it however they want? Man, if this is those Salmon Bros again, I'm gonna... Okay, deep breaths. Everything's gonna be okay. So as I was saying, we're gonna get some of this pale oak. And I actually managed to talk to General Crusader, and he traded me these creaking hearts for, I think, 4 diamonds per block, which is pretty solid if you ask me, because I don't have a resin farm and I don't plan on making one anytime soon. But what I'm gonna do with all of this is I'm gonna plop this down here, and using all of these blocks, I'm just gonna... And now with all these tree stumps put in, I think you can see where I'm going with this. But just to make things crystal clear, let's put in this last big tree. And there you go. If the smoke billowing from the top doesn't make it obvious enough, this, and all of these little ones down below as well, are supposed to be the beginnings of a burned forest. And all this stuff on the ground is supposed to be ash. And all of this here isn't going to be just trees. I've got all sorts of other plans for stuff like ruined buildings and paths and, you know, smoke coming out of the ground. And we'll get to all that in just a second, but the first thing that I want to do is I want to lay some paths right after we help Trozo fix his prismarine farm storage system. All right, let's see what we have here.
Doctor in the house.
All right. Seems to be pretty solid. Got a nice little ice pathway thingamabob.
Yeah. The problem is I'm losing like 90% of my product because there's so many that die. I can turn it on if you want to see it.
Yeah, why don't you turn it on? Let's see what happens.
Okay, yeah. And the farm should be running.
All right. Oh, I hear it. Yeah, the reason that the dispenser thing isn't working is because you need to put a spider web in there because it slows down the items and keeps them going straight down. And yeah, the chests up above are just way too slow. So it's gonna overflow and then all the items will be wasted up above. All right, I got some ideas. After a bit of fumbling around, I put in the same quad dispenser setup that I put in the gold farm. And then to make things even easier for him, I set up some shulker loaders down below.
Purple, thank you very much for redoing my atrocious redstone. Do you have inventory room? Because you have 2 inventory spots. I have a present for you.
Yes, I do.
Perfection. Here you go.
Oh.
You enjoy that.
Well, that'll teach me, I guess. Help out a friend with their storage and end up getting tagged? Certainly not the repayment I was expecting, but I mean, that was actually a pretty funny way to do it. I can't really be too mad about it. Although, Trozo, come on, you forgot to rename the name tag. You're supposed to rename it to your own name so that I know who tagged me, but I mean, I guess I know anyway. But okay, back to work. Right before I helped Trozo, I put in this path, and I think it's actually looking really good. I think it clashes the perfect amount with all this pale moss and tuff, just enough that if I fly a little ways away, yeah, you can definitely tell where the path goes, and I think it's gonna look even better once we get all of these little details in here, like the tree stumps and even that really big one up there at the top. This is all the beginning. But I mean, at this point, we're kind of getting like the really base level sort of, you know, natural terraforming done. I want this entire island to look like it was just absolutely ravaged by some kind of natural disaster. And I've got a couple ideas as to what that was, but I'm not going to reveal them quite yet because I gotta fully figure them out myself first. But I love where things are going, like especially this tree stump. Even if we go all the way over here, you can just see the smoke billowing from the top, and I think I want to put smoke in other places as well. And yeah, I really like where this is going. Now, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I still have to do, but for now, I think I'm gonna finish it off right here with one final detail that I think is really gonna sell the whole burned down village kind of thing. And for this, I think I'm gonna start by bringing this area out just a little bit more. I can even like take some of this out and just bring the path out a little bit more to this side. That's one of the nice things about this project is I'm not really attached to anything here. So if I have to bulldoze just a little bit here and there and then just fill it in with a little extra ground, it's really not that big of a deal. And now that we've got a little bit more area to work with, I'm just gonna start marking out some arbitrary square, maybe something like this. And I think you can already kind of see where I'm going with this, but I just want to put a couple holes in it here. Maybe in this corner, I'll build it up just a little bit. And a little bit here and there. And there you go. With very minimal effort, we've already got something that looks like it was maybe a house that got burned down or something like that. I can take out all of this floor. And again, I really like using this nether brick to sort of look like it's maybe like a burnt floor. Maybe something like that. And then fill the rest in with some blackstone. And actually, I think just to blend this in a little bit better, you know, it's not that often that I use cherry wood as a blending block, but when it works, it works. And honestly, from here on out, it's pretty much just detailing. I can get some slabs and maybe just pop in a few here and there. Oh, and I almost forgot. I threw some of these bricks into the furnace to get some cracked ones, and yep, that looks pretty great. I'll add in a couple pressure plates here and there, and then maybe just a couple buttons. And then we can just take all of this surrounding area, and we definitely, because, you know, this building, it's all destroyed, so we need to make sure that we put all of the rest of... Oh, it just had to start raining. Wait, there might be time. There might be time. Oh, hurry, before the day starts. We gotta sleep. Oh, there we go. Oh, thank goodness. Disaster averted. But as I was saying, this is supposed to be at least a somewhat recent event, so all of the, you know, the leftover walls and the roof, it needs to go somewhere. So at least for now, I'm gonna start by putting blackstone all around it like this, and then we can blend this together using some more of this basalt, which I think looks really good with the blackstone and the pale moss. So we'll just put that in here and there, and then... Oh, and actually before I do that, let's maybe blend this just a tiny bit more by putting some cracked bricks in here. And now we want to get like some little structures that show like, oh, the walls fell down over here. So I think maybe we can build this up just a little bit over along the edge, coming up against this tree. We can put like some stairs and then maybe some bricks up here, even build it up a little bit on this side. Another stair over here, maybe a slab like that. Actually, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna replace some of these slabs with some actual blackstone instead of the bricks, just because, you know, we gotta blend all this together somehow. I think that looks pretty decent. Maybe even going across the path, we can get some type of, yep, I got some nether bricks right here. Almost like part of the wall came down and just, you know, went straight across the path. I mean, how does that look? I think that looks fine. Might look even better with a little bit of pale moss. Actually, you know what might look kind of good? If we replace some of this blackstone with some pale moss, and then we can put like these pressure plates on it, maybe a button or two. I don't know, just kind of keep finagling it a little bit until it starts to look somewhat decent. Maybe a little bit more rubble trailing off in this direction. I mean, I don't really need to walk you through this whole process. It's kind of a long, just sort of trial and error process that takes a long time, and we'll get there eventually. One thing that actually I think would be important is that we actually differentiate the path from the building itself. And I think if I get some cobblestone, or sorry, cobbled deep slate, and maybe even a little bit of deep slate, and let's just take out some of these slabs and see what happens when we replace them with cobbled deep slate like so. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty good. And then we can even work some of this into the actual structure itself. Actually, maybe swap this out for stairs and a slab right there. Like I said, this isn't a very entertaining process, so I'll just skip to the end. Well, I ended up spending a lot more time than I had initially intended, but well, here it is. Now, there is definitely a lot going on here, but I think I really like it. If nothing else, I mean, at least it looks like a house that was recently burned down. I added some smoke coming up here, and well, there's honestly so much to talk about. I'm just gonna give you the highlights. The most obvious thing is the warped nylium. About the time I completely finished working on this, I just sort of had the feeling like it just looked a little bit too bland. And well, yes, I mean, it's supposed to look burned and ashy and, you know, kind of bland in general, but I still think it's important that we don't take it too far, and I think this warped nylium actually does a really good job. This is kind of the same effect that you get in the Pale Garden. You know, you've just got so much of this gray, you've got the browns, you've got the blacks, so any amount of color, especially something as bright as this, just really pops out. And even though I only have like, I don't know, there's probably 6 or 7 blocks of this warped nylium, I think it still looks really good. And I mean, when we're talking about stuff popping out, even these little bits of dirt in here really do a decent job of just, I don't know, it sounds kind of weird to say this in regards to dirt, but it gives it a little bit of like vibrance. Am I allowed to call dirt vibrant? But either way, I really like this. As we come over and we go over the path, yes, it kind of blocks the path a little bit, but as with all of my builds, I mean, aesthetics is king, so it has to look good first and foremost. And you know, I mean, we can always just fly straight over if we ever get too annoyed by it. One potential issue that I do see with this is it's just a little bit busy. I think from up close, it actually works really well, but the farther you go away, I mean, yeah, from up here, it's still kind of okay. But I mean, if we come all the way over here, you look back and you really can't tell what's going on here. It just looks like a big black mess. But I think part of that is because we've only got this one tiny section of the island done. I mean, all the rest of this is all just, you know, that baseline pale moss texture that we have going on here. We've got a couple trees here and there, but even then we don't have any of the dirt and, you know, darker blocks that are going to go around the base. So once we get a little bit more going on the island, I think it will look a little bit better. But at the end of the day, I mean, this place, it was just burned down. Like, it was just recently completely destroyed. I mean, I'm pretty sure something that was recently destroyed is gonna look a little bit messy. And so in that regard, I'd say we did fantastic. Lore-wise, I suppose we are gonna need to think of a reason that we have all of this warped nylium here, but I think we can work through that. And I know I said this is the last thing that I would do here, but I just have to show you one more thing. When I was going through and thinking of new ways that I can bring a little bit more life to this dead area, that sounds a little weird to say. You know that trick people do where they put down some soul sand and then fill up the area with water, and then they get an arrow and there you go, like that. So you get like the arrow jumping out and it just creates this cool little particle effect thing above the water. I mean, it probably looks a little bit better if you use like an actual watercolored one, but yeah, you see something like that. And while there's not going to be that much water around here, I did think of something kind of interesting that we could do. Man, dispensers are so annoying to craft. So just to show you the concept, I dug a little hole right here, and essentially all it is a dispenser pointing up, and then I'll just put a lever there to make it easy. Throw in some arrows of weakness, or, you know, potentially even infestation or weaving, and then if I activate this, it'll shoot an arrow right above, and then if I fly out... And you can see the effect with just one arrow isn't super big. You can just see the little spirals coming out of the salt right there. But I think if we get a whole bunch of arrows like all throughout this area, the effect could look pretty good. I should add that one of the reasons that it's hard to see is that we're using the grayer and blacker tipped arrows. You can see if I come down here and I replace the weakness arrow with, say, an arrow of swiftness, the effect is quite a bit bigger. And if I throw a whole bunch of different colored arrows up there, just, you know, just shoot them all up, then yeah, the effect is so much bigger. And I just think there's so many cool ways that we can use this. Like, say you've got an enchanting room and you want to make it look like there's magic coming out of the walls or something, you know, just a dispenser, shoot out the arrows, and you're done. Now, one issue that this method does have that the water method or like the slime piston methods don't have is once you shoot that arrow up there, there's really no way to get it back. And that means that once the arrow is there, that's pretty much the last time we can use it. Fortunately, we have a ton of tipped arrows and we don't really need to worry about running out. But even then, just to make sure that we're not constantly running through arrows, I think there's a much better way that we could go about this. So the bad news is that I recorded about 20 minutes of clips without my mic on, but the good news is you get to skip right to the end. So if I walk over here, you can see everything is normal, but if I walk back and I do this, it'll start raining. Yay. But slightly more exciting and also slightly ruined by the rain, this looks really, really cool. I'd originally... Oh my goodness, I'm just recording, I don't care. I'd originally set it so that it was just anybody that walks past will trigger it, but I just kind of figured that since I'm still getting everything set up and I still need to get all the arrows, oh, thank you, Casey. Really saved me there. Although it occurs to me that in my anger, I kind of sort of forgot that I could just sleep myself. But seriously, isn't this just so cool? If I fly down here, I don't know, the effect, it doesn't last for a super long time, but I think that's okay. We don't need to have this constantly going. And you know, if I ever really did want it to go, I could just set it up on a loop and have it constantly running. I mean, I don't know. I like it. I really, really like it. And just for the sake of showing you guys what it looks like underneath, just in case you want to build this yourself, if I come over here and break this, then we basically just have a couple lines of dispensers, and that's really it. Like, this is just so trivially easy. And at the moment, we have it hooked up to a really long line of redstone that goes all the way back here. And then once we get all the way up here, there's just a calibrated skulk sensor with a lectern right here. It's simple, but it's effective.
But look, it's you.
You look so pretty.
Thank you.
We're looking at like before the color cameras version of purple. This is like the 1950s version.
Yeah. With still the red eyes.
What do you mean red eyes?
What happened to your red eyes?
What happened to your red eyes?
What?
He just had to kill 3 people and then he was done. He's fine now. He's had his morning coffee.
I'm pretty sure I never had red eyes, but okay.
We need to aggravate him to get the red eyes again, so I'm going to tickle him with a feather on the feet.
With a feather?
Yeah, you try.
I don't know why you guys are always like this.
What? Hold on. Hold on.
Not you. Sammy has been tormenting me. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
This is the one who's killed me when I was...
I'll be right back.
I didn't kill you. Oh, sorry. I'm so confused.
Oh yeah, it's just an underwood.
Perfect. I expected more from you.
I saved you, but he destroyed the moss.
You should come over to your HQ for a second.
I actually finished it. Do you want to? Well,
yeah.
okay. It's not exactly finished.
I already have seen it. I already have seen it.
Wait a second. Don't go over yet. I want to be there.
Okay. Well, yeah. Trozo also.
Your reaction.
My I literally built it.
No, I know.
You guys are acting. You guys are acting really weird.
Yeah, Trozo, he's starting to know. He's starting to feel like there is something going on.
Well, I don't know.
earlier today, I logged on and I was trying to film all my clips, get all my heads so I can make these statues. And then I walked over to the HQ. You know what I found?
What did
Follow
you
me.
find?
What did you find?
Darkness. Overwhelming darkness.
What?
Walk in.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Nothing?
oh my
There you
goodness.
go.
Why
There you
would
go.
why would they do this to us?
Crouch, Purple.
Oh, crouch?
I don't
Oh,
know. I
sorry.
don't. Oy! Get out. Get out.
Trozo, just the other day I was over at my base and I was just like, you know, breeding villagers like normal. And freaking Sammy and Axe and I think Mystic, they came up to, they just killed me.
Again?
Well, no, that was that one
Again?
time.
Yeah, sorry,
What do you
sorry.
mean?
I'll keep track.
I just don't
Sorry,
get
I
why.
had to try. Oh my gosh.
I got aimbot. You should remember that, Trozo.
Where are you? Oh,
He's
there you
he's flying.
I've got the best
Yeah.
bow aim on the server.
But why would you put a warden in our headquarters?
Well, me and Sushi were like, well, we have to get the goat game back for killing. Why did
Okay.
you kill Ray? What did Rain do to you?
Okay. Pause.
She
Pause.
was
Pause.
just online.
Pause.
It's just.
What is this about me killing people?
Well, it wasn't even just you. Trozo and Kat were there as well. You should talk to them.
Okay, I think
Okay.
I would remember killing people if. What have I
Well-
done to you?
You pay for your brother's sins.
I just.
Who's?
The
Who's his
red-eyed
brother?
purple.
Purple, please crouch. I don't want you to die.
This is just crazy.
We're not even able to find him because we can't use freak cam. He's definitely down here, like right here, because this is where the sonic blast came from.
Okay, so
Oh.
purple.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got.
He's like right here.
Oh. Oh my goodness. I feel like I did nothing but be nice to you guys, and this is how you repay me? Oh, you guys are the worst. Just a second, I'm not feeling so good, guys.
Purple.
Well, hello there.
I knew it. I knew it.
What did you know? What did you know?
That you, the red-eyed.
Oh. Oh, it's just a warden? That's it?
It's really
Okay,
close.
all right. This is not even worth my time. Seriously? I logged in for this. All right, Trozo, answer me this. If you asked a 5-year-old child, what's the scariest prank in Minecraft? What do you think they would say?
Lucky blocks.
They'd say a warden in your base. Oh my, this is so
Yeah.
child. I'm out of here. This is not worth it.
Where heck?
Oh, Trozo, this is the worst. I just don't. They put a warden in our base. Now I've got an ear-splitting headache, and I just don't know what's going on.
Purple, can you help me kill the warden?
Yeah, let's take care of this.
Well,
I
Oh my-
wish you the
found
best
him,
of
by the way.
because this is only 0.1% of our power.
This is you're the worst. I feel like even if we get this, he's just gonna do something else to. Why are you like this?
Yeah,
You
what?
question yourself.
You even made it rain.
No, this is
You
good for
should
the atmosphere.
question your red-eyed self. Do you even know who that is? Is
My-
someone taking control over the top of you? Because Purple, this server isn't safe with you, mate. You need to think this through, because right now you've gone around and traumatized the entire server, killing everyone one by one, tricking them into locking themselves up in a base. You blocking every single exit, and you guys just 3v1 everyone one at a time. The flamed rose, raining dirt, even Axe the Shadow, one by one, you murdered them. You killed people who are
honest-
AFK, such as myself. You need to
You deserve
rethink
that
that
one.
through. Because if you guys continue to murder people like this, it's only just going to get worse. Because that is 0.1% of my power. you need to understand that anything you do will just bring back stronger. Okay?
Trozo, do you know what I remember doing? What I remember doing is I remember people coming to my base and me giving them whatever they need.
Oh yeah, that too.
And I remember not taking diamonds for them. I remember helping people when they're in need. I remember going to give them armor and gear. I remember being just a friendly person, and I don't know why I deserve this.
You
But
don't.
This is
You need to watch your back, mate, because anything you do, we're just going to bring back stronger. And you do not want to deal with that.
I'm gonna kill him.
Well, I guess we gotta take care of a warden.
They took Godastrophic.
Okay, but
What did
maybe
Cat ever
there's
do to them?
maybe there's a reason. Maybe they took Godastrophic on purpose. Is that a sign?
So, Purple, you got like a real two-faced thing happening right now. Like you got a good side and then a bad side. And you're like blanking when the bad side takes over.
All right, I'm looking at myself right now, and it just sort of looks like I've got two good sides.
Yeah, you got a real identity crisis problem happening right now.
I think maybe have you guys considered that maybe you're the ones that are crazy? Do you need me to break more blocks, or are you good?
The 4 stone there. Don't die.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig down. Seriously? What did I do to deserve this? Trozo, where are they? Where are they?
That was a good shot.
After that brutal and completely unprovoked attack from the Salmon Bros, I feel like I need to take a break and do some redstone. You see, we came over here and we fixed up Trozo's dispenser system, and then even set up some shulker loaders down below. But one thing that he mentioned that he'd like to have is auto crafters to get like the sea lanterns and all the different types of prismarine. So you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. So because I'm making this to be sort of a gift for Trozo, I'm trying to set it up in a way that if he wants to decorate it, he can. But essentially the setup that I'm thinking we're gonna have here is we're going to have, and actually let me start from the top, is we're gonna have a shulker unloader at the top for all the prismarine crystals and shards that we're gonna get out of shulker boxes up there. And after unloading those shulker boxes, we'll come down and it'll go into an auto crafter. And the auto crafter will make, you know, either the prismarine bricks, the dark prismarine, or the sea lanterns. And then once everything goes through the crafter, then it's going to go straight into another shulker loader, which will fill up this chest right here. Sounds a little bit complicated, but I think it's actually going to be really simple. And all of the shulker loaders are now in. It's all pretty simple, to be honest, and I'm just doing 4 of the same thing. But one of my goals was I want to make this as accessible as possible, and I want to make it really easy to, you know, get in here and fix something if it gets broken. And since Trozo might not understand how all of this works perfectly, I just want to make it as easy to use as possible. So that's why I've included these little stairways to get back behind. And as we get up into these upper portions, I'm also going to have this stairway that's going to go up, and there's going to be another floor for the crafting system, and then a floor floor all the way up above, which is going to be for the shulker unloaders. And the auto crafting section is now complete. You can see I kind of decided not to do the staircase, and I just put a ladder here. If Trozo wants to add the staircase later, he can do that himself. But you can see that because we have the prismarine on this side, these both only require one item in the crafter, whereas the sea lanterns and the dark prismarine, they require 2 items. I had to do different crafting setups. And actually, just to show you how those work real fast, for the prismarine and prismarine bricks, it's really simple. You just put the prismarine shards in there, and if I only have 4 of these tagged, then we're gonna get just the regular prismarine right here. Whereas if I come in and I take all of those out, you can see we're gonna start getting the prismarine bricks. There we go. Whereas for the sea lanterns, it's going to be a bit more complicated. We have to make sure that it's already in this pattern, and then we can just choose one side to put the crystals in and one side to put the shards in, and it should, yep, there we go. We're going to be getting sea lanterns right like that. And now with that out of the way, we're ready to move up to the 3rd and final layer. And with that, the prismarine factory is hopefully complete. Wow, this 3rd section was, yeah, it was pretty difficult. Not necessarily because the device itself was, you know, difficult, more because I ran into a problem with this particular shulker unloader where when the shulker box is dispensed and then, you know, this piston comes out and knocks it out, and it's supposed to go into this one right here, this hopper, but I tested it and every once in a while it was going into this one as well, and if it did, then that was gonna mess up with the crafters down below, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So instead of fine-tuning the shulker unloader or maybe finding a new design like a smart person, I decided to just put an item filter underneath. So that way only the prismarine shards can get through here, and then everything else, which in this case is only shulker boxes, is just going to get filtered into these chests. And then I actually haven't done this yet, but all of these chests right there and those ones right there, those are all going to be the shulker box chests. And I'm thinking just for Trozo's convenience, I might get one last hopper chain and just maneuver them over in this direction, and then maybe just all the way down into this chest right here. And I think if I do that, that'll just make it really easy for him. Oh,
Whoa.
Hello there.
What is this?
Oh, this is it's a burned down house.
This is sick.
You want to see something even cooler?
Oh, that's cherry wood.
Stand right here.
Genius builder this guy is.
Yeah, you might get hit by. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, you're good. All right, you ready?
Hit by what? Whoa, my. What just happened? I heard a lot of sound. Whoa. Oh, actually, wait, no, that's a lot of effect.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Here, I'll do it. I'll do it one more time. You ready?
Yeah.
Doesn't it look cool?
They genuinely, it looks amazing.
I'm still working on it.
No, I love this.
But what I wanted to show you is actually by your prismarine farm.
What in the world is this?
This is something that I made for you. If you come down here, I'll explain how it works.
Okay, This is redstone vomit, and I love it.
that's a good yeah, well said. Let me just grab a couple
Oh my
shulker boxes up
God.
here real fast.
Can I just bring over shulker boxes of black dye, or do I need to put it in separately?
Trozo, I'm explaining that now, okay? Follow me.
Sorry. I jumped a little bit ahead.
Yeah, you skipped to the middle of the explanation. How it works is right now I've got shulker boxes of crystals in here, and then shulker boxes of shards in this one. And the first level right here, if you'll follow me down, this is a shulker unloader. So to answer your question, yes, you just put in a shulker box of black dye. In fact, if you don't put in a shulker box, it won't work. So I put shards into there.
Yeah.
And crystals into there, and you'll see they'll start unloading.
Yeah.
And if you'll follow me down, this one should be activating. You can see the crafter is doing its crafting thing.
Yeah.
These two over here are both 2-item crafters, so they work just a little bit different from this normal one over there. So this crafter is always going to be full. Meanwhile, the ones over here, these ones should never be full. Like, they should craft as soon as they come in.
Empty shulker boxes go here.
Yes, so once...
I always have restock. See, I know redstone.
Exactly. so all of the shulker boxes, they go into these chests up above, or, you know, those ones up over there, and then they just follow the hopper chain all the way down, and they get dumped into here. Anyway, once they come down here, they'll just get loaded into the shulker boxes. Whatever you want to do with this place, it's yours to do. I just wanted to make this for you, so...
Perfect. I love it. This is genuinely amazing.
And that's it for this video, guys. I am just so incredibly proud of everything that we did in this episode, and especially this little area down here. I mean, it's really not much, but like I always say, it's the little details that I just absolutely love. The combination of these particles and the smoke, and even stuff like the warp nylium giving just a little bit of contrast to everything. Man, this tiny area is just getting me so excited for what this island is gonna turn into. I also got back to doing some redstone this episode, which was really fun. And it was so fun, in fact, that I think I'm gonna do a whole bunch of redstone next episode as well. Although that redstone is going to be, well, a little bit more defensive in nature. I don't have the faintest idea what I did to make the Salmon Bros hate me so much, but it seems like no matter what I do, they're just gonna keep coming for me. Which means I think it's probably time that we get a little bit of a secret headquarters going, because we're definitely gonna need a place to take shelter from whatever those guys have coming next. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.